Have you ever experienced erratic engine performance? Erratic engine performance is a broad but critical term that describes an engine that is not running consistently, smoothly, or predictably. It is the opposite of steady and reliable engine running. Instead of a single problem, it is usually a symptom of an underlying issue. The erratic part means the problem may come and go, change in intensity, or happen under specific conditions like only when the engine is cold or when we try to accelerate. Let's have a look at some of the things that can lead to erratic engine performance. You may experience one or more of the following sensations while driving. These are the symptoms of erratic engine behavior. For example, you might experience rough idle. The car shakes, shudders, and vibrates excessively when stopped at a traffic light. The RPM needle on the dashboard may bounce up and down irregularly. This is one indication of erratic engine operation. You might also experience hesitation or stumbling. When you press the accelerator, the car feels like it briefly pauses, jerks, or stumbles instead of accelerating smoothly. Sometimes you might feel surging. This is when the car suddenly and unexpectedly accelerates or gains power without you pressing the gas pedal further. Inconsistent power can also be characteristics of erratic engine operation. The engine power output feels weak and then strong, fluctuating unpredictably. A noticeable stumbling or shaking sensation, often accompanied by a sputtering sound from the exhaust. This is when there is misfiring. This feels like the engine is missing one or more cylinders. And sometimes the engine suddenly cuts out and dies, often at idle or when coming to a stop. A sudden and unexplained drop in mile per gallon is also a behavior of an erratic engine operation. Now, what are some of the common things that lead to erratic engine performance? The problem can stem from several systems within the engine. Let's have a look at the most common ones. For example, issues related to the fuel system. If you have clogged fuel filter, for example, clogged fuel filter restrict fuel flow, starving the engine of fuel, especially under load, and this can cause the engine to behave erratically. When there is weak fuel pump, this weak fuel pump, which cannot deliver a consistent volume of fuel at correct pressure to the engine, can also be a cause for erratic engine operation. Dirty or faulty fuel injectors that spray uneven, patternless mist of fuel, causing misfire and rough running, can also be the culprit. Ignition-related problems can also lead to erratic engine performance. For example, when you have worn-out spark plugs. Worn-out spark plugs, they cannot reliably ignite the air-fuel mixture, leading to erratic engine operation. And if there is a problem with the ignition coils, failing ignition coils, they provide weak spark, or they sometimes do not provide sufficient spark to the spark plugs. A faulty coil often causes a severe misfire under acceleration. Faulty spark plug wires can also lead to erratic engine operation. This can cause voltage leakage, and when voltage leaks, the one that is supplied to the spark plug will diminish, leading to intermittent misfire. So ignition system issues can also be cause for erratic engine behavior. In some cases, air intake and sensor-related problems can also cause erratic engine operation. When you experience vacuum leak, for example, unmetered air entering into the engine after the MAF sensor can lead to lean air fuel mixture that causes rough idle and hesitation. This is a very common problem. If there is somehow a disconnected vacuum line, somehow a cracked vacuum line, all that can introduce unmetered air into the system, and that can cause rough running of the engine. If you have a problem with the mass airflow sensor, for example, if the MAF sensor is dirty, this provides incorrect air intake data to the engine computer, which then miscalculates the amount of fuel needed. This can make the wrong air fuel mixture to be supplied to the engine. Faulty oxygen sensor that sends incorrect data about the exhaust gas content can also cause the computer to adjust the fuel mixture erratically, leading to erratic engine performance. Dirty throttle body, where there is a buildup of carbon deposits that disrupts the airflow past the throttle plate, can also cause idle fluctuations. So air intake and sensor-related problems can also contribute to erratic engine performance. The other culprit that can cause erratic engine performance is emission control-related problems. If there is a failed PTV valve, for example, the positive crankcase ventilation, as if it is stuck open, for example, it creates vacuum leak leading to rough idle. Clogged exhaust gas recirculation valve can also cause rough idle, hesitation, and knocking. Engine mechanical problems can also lead to erratic engine performance, but this is a very less common and it is more serious one, however. Low cylinder compression, for example, due to worn out piston ring, leaking valve, or blown head gasket, and this prevents cylinder from building proper pressure for combustion. So mechanical problems can also contribute to erratic engine operation. Now let's have a look at what you can do if you experience erratic engine performance. The number one thing that you should do is don't ignore it. Erratic engine performance won't fix itself, and it can strand you or lead to more expensive damage. For example, if there is a misfire inside the cylinder, that can destroy the catalytic converter, which is expensive to replace. And check for obvious signs if you happen to have erratic engine operation. Look for any loose or disconnected hoses in the engine. Listen for hissing sound, which usually indicate vacuum leak. And if the check engine light is illuminated on your dashboard, then this is your car's first alert. If the light is on, especially if it is flashing, then a flashing check engine light indicates severe misfire that can damage the catalytic converter. Then pull over and try to scan what is causing the misfire, what is causing the check engine light to illuminate on your dashboard. If the check engine light is off, the problem might be intermittent or a code might not yet be set. A mechanic can still often find pending codes. Basic maintenance check can also fix the problem. When was the last time you had a tune-up? For example, spark plug replacement, air filter replacement, all that kind of stuff. Simple maintenance items are a great place to start from. And if you cannot fix it by yourself, then it's a good idea to consult a professional mechanic. Diagnosing erratic performance often require experience and specialized tool to measure fuel pressure, to check vacuum leaks, to interpret live data from the sensors. Skilled mechanic can efficiently pinpoint the exact cause of erratic engine behavior. So, in short, erratic engine performance means your engine is not operating in a controlled, stable manner due to fault in one of its essential systems. It's a clear sign that your vehicle needs attention. So, don't ignore it. Have it addressed as soon as possible. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you regarding erratic engine performance. If you like this video, please smash the like button. If you are new to this channel, do consider subscribing, turn on notification so that you will be the first to get notified whenever we come up with another video of this kind. Until then, stay safe.